Have you ever gone to write a song and it felt like an eternity of just staring at a blank page and you just got nowhere? Have you ever had a melody that you really liked and you just worked on it and crafted it for a while and came back to it later and it just didn't sound right? Or maybe you've had the lyrics and some great words to work with, but you just couldn't find the music to go with it. Well, we've all been there and we've all hit that roadblock. So maybe today, let's have a think on that. Hey everybody, welcome to today's episode. Great episode today where we're just going to break down 5 great tips for tackling writer's block. We all hit it. We all have that moment where we're trying to get something written or we're putting some pressure on ourselves and it's just not coming to us. It's not flowing through us. The muses have not granted us with the greatness that we think we deserve sometimes. But today we're going to give you some tips how to push through that, how to get those embers in your brain to start to fire, get that push of getting something done, getting something written and created. Just before we get started into those 5 tips, I want to say thank you again to everybody that's taken the time and subscribed, liked, and reached out and asked questions and helped us with things to help us grow the community. All those little things really help. If you have not, please take the time to subscribe, and even if you have just a like for the video, always helps. We really appreciate it. We have some great stuff coming up in the next month or so don't miss that. And that's how you do it. Let's get right into the episode. 5 quick tips about breaking through that writer's block and getting to songwriting, getting to the creation mode, and getting to that moment where you know it clicks and you're ready to go and it just starts flowing through you and it seems like time erases. But everything up to that where you're fighting it and you're trying to make it work feels like an eternity. So here's some tips that we've run into with other musicians or that I've used personally and that have worked. And let's get them to you. First one I want to try is, if you can't get that song written, if you're finding it that something's not working, instead of just beating your head against the wall and just trying to make this work and staring at a blank page, go find a song that you love. Go find a song that you admire, that you really, really like. Listen to it and reverse engineer it. Great way to get the juices flowing, to figure out what you want to do with the song, to think of ideas that maybe you just couldn't think of in the moment and just take those and turn them into something new. There's a lot of talk, especially when I was growing up in the 90s, the 2000s, in that area. There's a lot of worry about being a sellout or just copycatting or all that kind of thing. But the sooner you realize that all of music is just built upon other versions of songs, different versions, just finding those inspirations in other music and making it, changing it enough to make it your own, putting your own unique style on it, but it's still kind of the same thing. All of music has been that way since the beginning of time. Copyright law doesn't want to hear that. Lawyers don't want to hear that, but that's just the truth about music. It has always just been musicians, artists, listening to each other, finding inspiration, finding something to pull out of that, and then taking that and turning that and making it into their own. So if you can take a song that you really like, pull it out, listen to it, start listening to the structure of the song, how do they put together, where's the verses, where's the chorus, where's the instrumental parts, what's drawing me to this song? Is it, the way they're using dynamics, is the story they're telling, whatever it is. Take that, reverse engineer it, and try to apply it to what you're doing. I guarantee you it's going to push you through those little hiccups that you're hitting that aren't letting you get to what you need to do. So that's our first great idea. Second one, we're going to move on to revisit old finished ideas. And I promise that if you've listened to us in the past, or maybe you're just one of those people that has done this, but you should have some recordings of music that you've come up with ideas as you're practicing, as you're learning new things, as you're working in your studio or your bedroom or your home. You should be recording the ideas that you're coming up with, and those should be stored somewhere, and go back and just hit up that reservoir of old stuff and see if something applies to this or something that you can change. It wasn't great then, you didn't know how you're going to use it. Bring it to this, reshape it, mold it into something new, and apply it to what you're doing. It's a fantastic way. And even you can go back to old songs that maybe you've written and they've been there a while, but you didn't release them, or they they aren't officially out there, you can take those and rehash the ideas, or take some ideas from those using what you've already done, what you've already cached away, and use that. Same thing with lyrics. We've all got a notepad on our phone or somewhere in our bedroom or our house where there's a notepad with, a bunch of words or thoughts or concepts written down. Just go back, use those, reference them, and use them, and just whatever you need to get you to push through, to get rid of those cobwebs in your brain. Number 3, use visual, written, or emotional prompts. And this one's one of my favorites. I love it when I am hitting a wall and I just can't get anything to work, and it's just sitting there hitting your head trying to get something to work, or just keep playing the same thing over and over and trying to hum along to it. And for whatever reason, that's not getting the job done. It's nice to kind of step away and then figure out, using some other media or some form of art to inspire you and write something new or make something new out of that. One of my favorites personally is finding a book. You could either read a book or listen to an audio book and write a song based off that. What inspired you? Why did you like this book? What story were they telling? What parts of that would you like to take from that and make your own and make a unique idea? And it works fantastic. There's so much to work with. Same thing with movies that inspire you, or shows that inspire you, or even a painting. If you can sit down, look at that, how does it make you feel? What's the emotion coming through? Does the melody kind of sound like this? Does it need to be a little bit sadder, a little bit happier? Should it be major? Should it be minor? All those things start to work and get the fuel for the fire that you need to start burning. And it's fantastic. It's such a great tool. I recommend using this. Number 4, do the opposite. Instead of using those things, now that, if you've done that before and you understand how the stories, or you've been writing music for a while and you know how you like to write your music, sit down, write out a story, from beginning to end. Who's the characters? What's the main idea from this? Who's the side characters? What's the quest? How does it begin? What's the end? Write down the story from beginning to end, however long it takes, how many pages it takes, and then write the song from that. What was important about it? What needs to be in the song? What am I trying to get across to the listener? Going in reverse order instead of having the lyrics and the music and trying to piece one or the other together with those. Starting from a story and then creating around that can be a great way to really get that ball rolling downhill. It's just fantastic. Number 5, and the final one I want to talk about here, is something we talk about a lot, and it's just taking a break and getting a step away. If you aren't being able to get the motivation and the momentum that you need to get that music going, to get the pen scribbling away, sometimes it's great just step away and just go enjoy a movie, go listen to some music, go just live your life, be with your friends, your family, your significant others, and just let that be the inspiration for what you want to do. Let that be the thing that, I guarantee you, if you take that time, give yourself that space, at some point you're going to have that aha moment of, oh yeah, that's great, I have this piece and now I'm starting to feel it, I can understand. I've done this many times myself, where you'll step away and a groove or a melody or some line that I've written on guitar will not have the pieces, or I won't understand how it's going to work, and it feels mundane and just doesn't have that polish on it. And you'll come back and then you'll be doing something else and be like, oh, I hear it now. It's something snaps, and you get that feel of, oh, it needs to be this rhythm. Here's how it's played. It needs a couple extra notes. It needs a few ghost notes in here and there to give it some personality and some depth, and you start to shape it. And it's because you stepped away and let it ruminate a bit, let it grow, let it fester until it turns into something better. Let it become a butterfly, a caterpillar that metamorphosizes into a butterfly. You gave it that time and space it needed to accomplish that. So there's five really quick and great ideas for breaking through a rut, to getting through that wall that's just right in your way and you can't figure it out. They're fantastic. If these help, please let us know. Write down in the comments. I've got at least 15 more of these. If they help, we can make another video. Just give us a heads up and we'll be happy to do that. If this helped you at all, please give us a like, give us a subscribe. We've got great things coming. We've got gear reviews coming out, how-tos, more motivational things, and things that help you push forward to get through to where you need to be as a musician, as an artist, get your career growing. And I hope this helped, and we'll see you on that next one. Bye!